Hello guys and welcome back to MissildineOnline. I know it's kind of been a while, but I'm back. And gameplay in the background is of course from the World of Warcraft Cataclysm. This is just a little bit of a healing thing that we're going to be doing. It's a little bit better than the last one that I put out, and that's why I want to do it. Right now I'm actually working on a bunch of Mists of Pandaria videos, including one that's all my issues with it, which I'm sure no one really cares about, but honestly, I have a lot of issues with the game, and there's some concerns, I guess I should say. There's some concerns that I have about the Mists of Pandaria and how it's going to be judged off of what I've played in the beta. And yes, there will be beta videos coming out, including the new talent system, including the new druid forms, including the new armor on certain druids, as well as the new dungeons, and then a bunch more once they allow you to be level 90. And of course, I sped up this video because after looking at it, it went for about, almost an hour and a half, and I was like, no, that can't be. So I edited it down, and while sped up, I edited it down, and yeah, so now it's a pretty short video, which I was kind of surprised about. But anyways, I digress. We're actually in the heroic Shadowfang Keep, obviously, and this is the Baron Ashbury fight. Now, you can't tell, but we actually wiped on this boss, I believe 3 times. Yep, yeah, see? Cut us. For DPS, we actually have a Shadow Priest, we have a Rogue, or no, I'm sorry, not a Rogue. Yes, we do have a Rogue. We had a Warrior before. Our tank is a Warrior. I'm a Disc Priest, obviously. We have a Shaman, Shadow Priest, and a Rogue. And the first time they did it, they had Stay of Execution go a little bit too long. Everyone healed to full, which is great and all, but Baron Ashbury does too, you know? Which, if you guys don't know this fight, this used to be an awesome fight back in the Cataclysm beta. It's still fun, it's just not what it used to be, but it's still a cool fight. I enjoyed this fight a lot. It's one of my favorite fights in actually the entire game, to be honest with you. As you see, I popped Power Word Barrier there. That's your major big cooldown as a Disc Priest. You want to be using that in times where you really need it. Now I'm just spamming Prayer of Heal because obviously this is just AoE damage up the butt. So much AoE damage coming out here. Pop Evangelism, there we go. Easy, easy, easy. Obviously, I don't know, you know, what's best for me, but yeah, so, pretty good stuff. Now we're gonna move on. Yep, I certainly do. That was actually my first time, by the way, healing that fight as a healer. Just saying. It certainly was. First time. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew about the AoE parts. I knew that there was certain parts that got a little too AoE heavy, you know? But, hey, we did it. Now, for this part, I'm sure you guys know by now, the tanks are going to pull in the big mindless horrors because they fear. So, you need to, if your tank doesn't look like they're going to, you should be doing it. And I realize that the expansion has been out for, what, like a year now? I don't know, even a little bit more than that? I don't know. People have obviously ran this fight, but I just wanted to show you guys my first healing videos, and I know a lot of people don't heal, and a lot of people don't tank. And I'm kind of curious as to why. I understand the whole tanking aspect, but there is a certain kind of responsibility that is forced upon the player. And if you screw up, it's your fault or it's the healer's fault as a tank. It's one or the other. It's not the DPS's fault ever. Even though, geez, I think on Arst alone, my priest, I've ran into probably like 4 scenarios where it's been, and I've only ran like 6 dungeons, by the way, where we've wiped, and it's been because the DPS are pulling things that the tank isn't even attacking yet. So, kind of interesting. But, yeah, it's interesting. Interesting stuff. And now we're going to just keep going through. It's really not a big deal. I think one of the hardest bosses, actually, that we run into, which is really weird because on all my other characters, I have an 85 Hunter and an 85 Paladin as well. We can get Springvale down, no problem. I've never, ever wiped on Springvale. We wiped at least 4 times on Springvale during this fight, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's not that I wasn't healing well. It was just there was too much damage going on to the tank, and I couldn't heal the tank. See, tank's down. I don't think we wipe here, but it gets pretty darn close. You know what? I think we do wipe here. Yeah, we wiped. Things happen, you know. Things happen. But yeah, you don't want to pull too much there, especially if the tank can't handle it. This tank's great. I mean, personality-wise, this tank is awesome, you know? And I would rather, to be completely honest, I'm the type of player who I would rather, honestly, I would rather have a tank with a good personality, having a good time, playing the game, rather than a tank who's like, oh, you're mad that I died. How could I die in a video game? Blah, 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 blah. Those get really annoying. You should die in a video game. Now, stupid mistakes, no, but, you know, if you pull too many people and you can't handle it because you don't have the amount of gear, or you don't have the amount of experience, or you've never ran this dungeon before, you shouldn't be mad that you're dying. Especially if you're in a group with people who might not be playing before, or are lagging a little bit, or, you know, can't see all the details that you can see. So that's my little issue. When I tank, I like to be, I guess, the nice guy. Unless people are being stupid. And if people are being stupid, then I'm going to be stupid too. And I'm going to get mad at them. But of course, it's a game. And that's another thing, is the people that are like, hey, it's a video game, who cares? Yeah, it's a video game that we're all paying for a month, and we're all spending our time doing. So if you're being stupid, it's wasting our time and our money. Just saying. And I never understand the people that don't want to get better at the game and just want to play it. I don't get that. Why? Don't you want to, like, in a single player game, you play it and the entire game is to get better so that at the end you can beat that hard part, you know? That's what a game is. You go through the entire level. The entire game is a training course for the last section, or at least it should be. I think that a good game usually is. The whole game's like a training course. Of course, there's, you know, some things come to mind. Final Fantasy X, for instance. You learn the battle system, and then, I mean, you learn things at a pretty comfortable pace in Final Fantasy X. But I mean, the end boss isn't that hard. I mean, he's kind of hard, but I think Seymour becomes one of the harder bosses. If anyone's ever played that. Seymour becomes very hard if you didn't know that you could summon Shiva. And here we go on Baron Silverlane. This is an easy fight. Just keep DPSing him. Have the tank worry about grabbing the ads. Don't DPS down the ads. It's a waste of time. Silverlane will go down without it. You don't even need to worry about it. Seriously. I've seen way too many people like, oh, we need to focus down these ads. No, you don't. No, you don't. By the time you get those ads down, you could have already killed the boss. You really could have. So, here we go, just smiting away. And remember, my priest has the atonement healing spec. So every smite and holy fire heals the target that needs it the most. That doesn't mean that they need to be below a certain point like some guy in the last video I did. No. Instead, you need... It's smart. It'll target on its own. But anyways. What I was saying about tutorials and video games being tutorials. Final Fantasy 13 actually comes to mind as perhaps doing it too much. I don't know if anyone agrees with me on that one, but I think that personally, Final Fantasy 13, that's where it went terribly wrong, is it spent the first half of the game giving you a tutorial on how to play these characters that aren't hard to play. They're not hard to play. The game wasn't difficult. I mean, there were parts of it that obviously, you know, were difficult, but it was too much of a tutorial. They easily could have spread it out maybe a little bit more without it being so heavy. But I mean, the first half of the game was seriously entirely tutorial. Entirely. Now, if they would have spaced it out a little bit where you're still learning things 3/4 in, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I mean, with that combat system, let's face it, that game had the best combat system of any Final Fantasy ever. Besides maybe 13-2, obviously. But that's kind of... The combat was so complex that you don't need the tutorial the whole time. You need to know the basics, and then you learn it yourself. Right? That's what I think anyways. You know, easy to learn, hard to master. That's what I think. That's the way to go. Now, I've seen some tanks tank him up there in the corner. And that is personally what and we wiped, by the way. Yeah, we wiped a lot. To the point where one of our Shadow Priests dropped and we got a Druid. Feral Druid, not a big deal. But actually our Warrior felt really bad and wanted to leave. But, hey. We got it. We got it. We didn't want to lose the tank. Again, because the tank is so nice, we didn't want to lose the tank. You know? The tank is obviously being good. You know? We don't want to lose it. Here's when I tried telling Lavin that combat is top DPS right now. Yep. Yeah, combat is actually the top DPS spec for rogues right now. I've actually looked it up. You can check on the charts. I think Noxic.com has something about it. But yeah. With all the cleave damage, anyways, especially in Dragon's Soul, that's who's topping the rogue charts, anyways. Not the obviously DPS charts. I believe survival hunters are actually top DPS, which my hunter is not doing that at all. My hunter is survival, and he does not top the charts. He gets like 4th or 5th, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That's why I haven't done a video on him yet, because I'm doing something wrong, and I know you guys are going to be like, well, this is what you're doing wrong! Actually, maybe I should play him then, so you guys can tell me. Oh, you guys will tell me in a mean way, jerk faces. Just kidding. Totally kidding. But, I don't know how that guy died. I don't know how I let him die. I don't know if he ran ahead or what, but... yeah. Kind of weird. Anyways, I was kind of sloppy at this second. Our tank is taking a lot of damage consistently the whole thing. Yeah, this whole... I don't know why, but the tank was just... everything hurt the tank. I mean, there was almost no survivability on this tank. I don't know if maybe, like, she just stacked... or he or she just stacked stamina. I mean, 190, what is that, 196, 194? Yeah, 194,000 net. I mean, on a warrior, warriors obviously don't have that high of stamina as compared to some other classes. I think Pallies have higher stamina. Obviously, Druid bears. I think even some DKs do, which is interesting. But yeah. So I wonder if I'd have to look. I don't think I inspected her at all. Or I think I edited out me inspecting her. And I'm pretty sure she has pretty low B gear, obviously. She's running 5-man, she's trying to get gear. But yeah, she didn't really have much at all. And I'm guessing, I haven't really seen her, I won't know if she's popped shield wall and all that, but I really haven't seen much. And I think she only does it, when she needs it, not when it's off cooldown. Which, you should be using it every time it's off cooldown, personally, I think. I guess it's nice to save it for emergencies, but honestly, any moment could be an emergency. You take a critical hit, it's an emergency. Healer not paying attention, it's an emergency. Anything can go wrong at any point. So yeah. It's a good thing I sped this video up too, because it's really just been me babbling to you. Now, my whole idea for the heroic healing was going to be... Alright, so like I was saying about the heroic healing. Sorry, I had to edit out a part there, because I guess I missed it in my editing, but it skipped back to when we were walking up to Lord Walden. First off, before I go into what heroic healing plans are, we wiped again so many times on this boss, and I don't understand why. I don't know why. Anyways, there were some people that didn't understand the fight. We explained it to them. When there is a green light, move. Red light, stop. Done. All you need to know. That is literally all you need to know. Green mix, keep moving. That can be running around, that can be jumping. Just keep moving. As a healer, that sucks, because obviously we can't really heal during that. And as you can tell, health is going down. Health is going down. We barely make this, by the way, guys. We barely make Lord Walden. I'm pretty sure we go down at some point. I'm having a lot of trouble healing. I can't heal him. I can't. Let's see. I can get Divine Him up. Greater here. Why am I greater healing? I need to be prayer of healing. Prayer of healing. Too many people are taking damage, Corey. Idiot. Red mix, don't move. What do we got? Yep, exactly. We had so many people moving around in that fight. So many people. In fact, yep, down we go. Now it's just me and the tank. I know, cuts it close. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that! Tank and healer. Apparently the only ones that understand the mechanics of the fight. Look at, love this tank. Love this tank. Yeah! Look at that kill. That's a nice kill. That's a nice kill. Just the two of us. We can make it if we... Just kidding. Seriously. But we did. That was nice. I enjoy that. That was a good one. So, anyways, red light, stop. Green light, keep moving. Alright, so that's Lord Walden. Alright, on to what I was talking about with the heroic healing. My plan was, is to run and have heroic healing on Arst, my discipline priest. Have it, all of it, just all of it going. You know, and it would have been awesome. It's just run all the heroics with Arst, run everything for you guys to see, run the Hour of Twilight, which I will still do. I will still run the Hour of Twilight, and I will run Dragon Soul looking for raid on him, and hopefully if I get into a guild raid group, I'll record that as well. Probably not on Arst, but on my other guys, I'd rather run it my first time as DPS, to be honest with you. I haven't run Dragon Soul yet on normal or heroic or anything. I've only ran it on looking for raid. I've run it a bunch of times on looking for raid, but looking for raid is cakewalk compared to what the actual game is and what the actual thing is. So what I've decided to do is not do heroic healing like I originally intended. Instead, I'm going to level the other healing classes and do a heroic of each and a guide of each healing class. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not going to run all these heroics over and over again. When MOP comes, and in the beta of MOP, yes, I will do that more. But, however, right now, we've all seen this content. There is no point in me running it. I didn't think that through. That was stupid on my part. In my mind, it would have been a great segment. It would have been awesome. But I realized as you can tell by this video, there's only so much I have to tell you about a Disciplined Priest. Atonement healing in 5-mans. That's it. Atonement healing in 5-mans. You just smite and holy fire, and you're adding to the DPS, which is great. It's great. You're not going to be topping the charts in any looking for raid as a Disciplined Priest. You're really not. However, you will be topping the charts in absorptions. At least you should be, unless there's another Disc Priest in there. If anybody else is topping you in absorptions, you're doing something wrong. Go check and see if you need some reforging gear, if you're playing right. What are you doing wrong? Personally, as of right now, recording this, I have done so poorly in looking for raid on Arst, so poorly as a Disciplined Priest, that I've actually decided to roll Holy. And I will do another guide on Holy Priest, obviously, because that's a healing spec. So I will do that. And I will show you guys how I'm healing. I died. I will show you guys how I am healing this stuff. Right? I will show you guys how I'm... Alright, so we wiped last time on Lord Godfrey. Now we're going to take him out right now. See, people were being kind of dumb. They were standing in it. I was kind of standing in it. Tank wasn't really, whatever. You know, we had some DPS that were standing in it. It's not a big deal. I'm pretty sure this might be the Shaman's first run of this on Heroic, which is cool. Hey, everyone's got to learn sometime, right? So, yeah. And I wasn't dispelling last time enough, and I should have been dispelling. So, I dispelled a little bit more. I'm healing a little bit better. Here's the thing. In 5-mans, like I said, you should be atonement healing. However, if your atonement healing isn't keeping up with the damage being put, stop doing it. Start healing. Stop atonement healing. Start regular healing. Do it. Prayer of Mending needs to go on every single time. Every single time. So anyways, we did a lot better on that one. I just wanted to say thank you guys for joining us right here at MissildineOnline. Stay tuned for any more that we will be doing here. And rate, subscribe, comment. There will be Mists of Pandaria beta footage coming out, along with more. Thank you all. Have a good one.